Perfect. I got it. Thank you
All
so much,
right.
Heather.
All right. Woo woo.
Woo-hoo. All right. Good morning. Thank you for coming to our Saturday morning yoga flow. It's going to be a typical vinyasa flow with some strength, with some stretching, lots of deep breathing. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started standing at the top of the mat. Feet come in hip distance. Just tucking the pelvis, opening the palms to the front of the mat, allowing the shoulders to roll back and away from the ears. Taking a nice deep inhale, feeling the crown of the head lengthening. And as you exhale, feel your feet ground, relax, being supported. Welcoming another deep breath to fill the body, maybe allowing the gaze to soften or eyes to close here. Just becoming aware of the body. Taking a few deep breaths to allow the body to relax here. Start to cultivate your own sense of peace and calm. As we go throughout the practice today, feel free to take your own modifications, add your own style. It's your practice. Wonderful. Rooting nice and deep in the ground here, engaging through the legs. We're going to inhale, reach arms overhead, lengthening the body. On the exhale, we're going to let the left hand drop to the side, right arm reaches over, stacking the shoulders, gazing up. Inhaling back up. And exhale, right hand drops, left hand reaches overhead as we gaze up. Breathing into that side body. Inhaling back up into center. Releasing the arms here. We're just going to roll the head, dropping the chin towards the chest. Taking ear, shoulder, and other ear to other shoulder. Maybe allowing the head to fall all the way back if it feels okay for you. Perfect. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls, squaring away with the head. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down and back. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Switching directions, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Just getting some nice big movement in the shoulders if you can. Then releasing the shoulders, we're going to bring our arms up, kind of bending them. Make sure our feet are hip distance, a slight bend in the knees. We're just going to gently start to swing the upper body side to side, glancing over shoulder, shoulder, maybe just gently bouncing the knees as you twist here. Perfect. Coming back through center. We're just going to bring our hands to our lower back here. Inhale, gently open the chest up. On the exhale, bend the knees gently as we release the chest all the way forward into our dangling pose. Let the head be heavy. We're going to inhale, straighten through the knees here and pivot our feet wide, pointing them towards the corners of the mat as we gently sit the hips down into a little squat. Inhale, we'll pick up the hips, point the toes forward again, hip distance. Exhale, bending the knees, release the body all the way forward. Inhaling, roll round through the spine as we come all the way up to standing, arms reaching overhead. Exhale, release the hands. This time we're going to interlace them behind the back. Inhale, pull that fist down, open the chest, gaze up. Exhale, once again, we're gonna fold. Feel free to bend the knees. The fist is gonna come as far overhead as you can manage here. Taking a nice deep breath, feel a release through the shoulders. Releasing the hands here. We're gonna once again pivot the feet open, pointing them out towards the corners, bending and sitting the hips down as far as you can. Taking an inhale here. And exhale. We'll inhale, lift the hips, point the toes forward again, hip distance apart. Exhale, release the chest forward. And bending the knees gently, we'll inhale, round the spine all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, release. Perfect. This time, bringing feet hip distance. We're gonna come up, inhale onto our tippy toes, reaching our arms overhead. Feeling nice and strong on your toes. That big toe is nice and engaged. We're gonna exhale, slowly start to fold here with a straight spine. Maybe stopping halfway for a pause, holding here. And then we'll exhale, release the feet down, release all the way into a fold, bending the knees. Let it be dangly. We'll inhale, straighten through the knees, pivot the feet out again, point the toes towards the corners. We sit the hips all the way down into a squat. Inhale, rising through the crown of the head, lifting through the pelvis floor. Exhale, release into this pose a little bit deeper. We'll inhale, pick the hips up, put the toes forward again. We're going to gently bend the knees as we release the body all the way forward into a dangling pose. Grabbing opposite elbows here, letting everything be heavy. Even lean your body weight a little bit forward onto the toes. Gonna just sway a little bit side to side. Take a deep breath, fill the belly. Exhale, feel the navel pull back towards the spine as you release a little bit deeper here. We're going to release the palms. On the inhale, we're going to plant the right hand, bend the right knee, straightening the left knee, and reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. So we're taking a little twist, really putting emphasis into that left hamstring. Exhale, release it down. We're going to switch the bend in our knees. Right leg is straight. Left hand plants, and we reach the right hand up to the sky. Exhale, release it down here. We're going to inhale, halfway lengthen, straighten through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release into a forward fold, planting the hands. We're going to step the feet all the way back into a plank. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to drop our knees and our chest and our chin to the ground. On the inhale, we'll gently pull forward and up with the chest. Inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together as you open the chest, really pulling it forward. And on the exhale, we'll bend through the knees, shift the hips back onto our heels into a child's pose. Taking a nice deep release here. Inhale, we'll lift the hips. We're going to come right into a tabletop position, stacking our shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We'll inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, gaze up in our cow. Exhale, release the spine, rounding it out, chin towards the chest, cat. Inhale, open. Exhale, round it out. Taking this movement with your own breath. Just a few more. Really becoming fully aware of the length of your spine. Wonderful. Coming back to center whenever you're ready. We're just going to tuck the back toes and gently start to lift the hips as we come back into our downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the feet out here. Bend one knee, bend the other, sway the hips side to side. Just add some movements. Really reach those hips high. The shoulders are reaching back towards the thighs. The ears are falling away from the shoulders. Taking a nice deep belly breath. Exhale, let it go out of the mouth. We'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. You can step. Just walk your hands for now up to your hands. We're just going to go through a full vinyasa here. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, round the spine all the way up to standing, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, release your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, with a straight spine, we're going to try to fold forward. Inhale, we'll halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hand, step it back into a plank. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to tuck the elbows into our side as we lower into a chaturanga push-up. Inhale, pull that chest forward, keeping the thighs lifted if you can, upward facing dog. On the exhale, we'll lift the hips back for a downward facing dog. Wonderful. Move it out. Anything you feel like you're really needing right now, just listen to your body. We're going to go ahead and inhale, lift the right leg up, straight, square those hips down towards the ground. We'll bend the knee, open the hips here. Really reach that knee as high as you can. That back foot is reaching towards your glute. We're going to try to keep the shoulders square. Coming back through center with the hips, we'll bend that right knee, pull it in towards the chest, and step the foot in between the hands. Lowering the back knee, sink the hips as far forward as you can. We're in a low lunge. Keeping the hands planted here. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up our hands, placing them on our knee for a little bit of a deeper stretch, really getting nice and deep into the hips. Using your breath here to relax a little bit more. Perfect. We're going to release our hands down to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. We're in a deep runner's lunge here. You can kind of sway the body forward and backwards. Just try to get those hips nice and low. From here, you can tent your hands to make it a bit easier. Maybe even use blocks or books under your hands. We're going to straighten the front knee, keeping those hips squared. Release the chest over the leg. Inhale, pick the chest up and bend the knee back into a lunge. So just adding this movement here, we straighten and fold, trying to press that back heel into the ground. Inhale, lift and bend into that front knee, getting nice and low. Straighten, fold. One more, we bend, get nice and low into that lunge. Gaze up. And then we'll exhale, release, straighten the front leg and fold one more time here. Making sure our hips are square, that left hip is drawn forward. We're going to inhale, straighten through the spine, pick up really high onto those left toes as we plant the hands and sweep this right leg right back into our three-legged dog. Lift it as high as you can. And we'll exhale, release it down into a downward dog. Wonderful. We're going to take it to the other side. Inhale, straight leg. We lift the left leg up, squaring those hips to the ground. Bending the knee. We stack the hips on top of each other, lifting that left knee as high as you can. Perfect. We square out the hips here. Draw that left knee in towards the chest and step that foot all the way through, lowering the back knee. Keeping your hands planted here, we'll just focus on getting our hips really low, really open. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands up to your knees, sitting up a little bit higher in our low lunge. Welcoming deep breaths here to help with any feelings of discomfort. We're going to plant the hands back down, tuck the back toes, and lift off the back knee. Keeping low in this low runner's lunge. We'll go ahead, push the hips back, straighten through the front left leg. Squaring the hips, we'll fold. Inhale, pick the chest back up, bend that knee, sink low into the lunge. Exhale, push the hips back, release over that leg. Back heel reaching towards the ground. Inhale, we take it back to the lunge. Exhale, hips back, fold. One more lunge here. Inhale, sink the hips low. Exhale, straighten the leg. Make sure the hips are square as we fold. Forward. Planting the hands here, lifting high off that back right foot. We're going to sweep this left leg all the way back into our three-legged dog, reaching it up high. Exhale, release it down into our downward facing dog. Wonderful. We're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or float your feet to the top of the mat, releasing into a forward fold. Inhaling all the way up to standing, arms overhead, and exhale, release. We're going to draw our big toes together, leaving our heels apart. We're going to inhale, sit the hips down, arms straight by our ears. We're in our chair pose. We're just going to inhale, sweep the left arm back as we gaze over the left fingertips. Right arm reaches forward. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, right fingertips sweep back, gaze over that right thumb. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, we stand up and release into our forward fold. Inhale, we'll halfway lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the hand, step it back to a plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open that chest. Exhale, release the hips back, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, our right foot is going to step forward. We're going to ground the back heel and keep those toes pointing 45 degrees towards the corner. We're coming up into a warrior one. If this pose is a little bit challenging with the way the feet are, you can always open the feet away from each other, so open more space in between the feet to help a little bit more, especially if you have wide hips. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up and get a nice 90-degree bend through that front knee. Opening the chest here, reaching up. On the exhale, we're going to pivot the hips open into our warrior two. Arms come parallel to the ground, palms facing down. And our back toes are facing the long side of the mat as well as our hips. Sink nice and low into that front knee. From here, we'll inhale, straighten through that front leg. Exhale, we reach the right arm back overhead. And then we inhale, we're going to reach the body all the way over this front leg into a triangle pose, trying to keep our shoulders stacked, gazing up. From here, we're just going to bend into this front knee. You can either take the right forearm onto the knee, or you can drop the hand all the way inside of this right foot as we reach the left fingertips overhead into a side angle. Get nice and low here. From here, we're just going to continue dropping the hips low, low, low. You can release the left hand to the ground, and we're going to pivot the back toes and knee to point up. So we're coming right into a skandasana. You can leave the hands planted for balance, kind of push away that right knee for a little extra stretch. Just getting a nice deep breath in this pose. And then let's go ahead. We're going to press up and face the long side of our mat. We're going to pigeon toe the feet a little bit towards each other as we release all the way through into a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe move the hips a little bit side to side here. We'll inhale, halfway lengthen. Actually, yeah, halfway lengthen. And then we'll go ahead, walk the hands towards the front of the mat, pivoting the toes. Front toes point forward. Back toes point towards the corner of the mat again, so 45 degrees out. We'll inhale, extend straight through the spine. Exhale, release the chest over the extended leg. Both legs are straight. Inhale, lengthen again. This time we'll step our left hand over the left leg here. And if you can, see if you can reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Reverse triangle. Revolve triangle. We'll release the fingertips to frame the feet again. And then we're just going to step up off this back foot. Left leg reaches up. We bring it parallel to the ground, hip square to the ground. We're in a little warrior three variation with our hands planted. We're inhale, lengthen through the spine. You can even lift the back leg up a little bit more for some sensation through the standing leg. From here, we're going to really find our balance on this right leg. We're going to relax the left leg as we stand up and bring the left leg all the way up and through. Placing that left foot on top of the right knee or right above the right knee. We're going to sit the hips down as we release this left knee open into a standing pigeon pose. Turn to face you. So we're in a standing pigeon, our hands come in prayer, and we sit nice and low in our hips. We're gonna inhale, stand back up. That left leg that's bent on the knee is going to step and cross over the right leg. So releasing that foot down, across over the right leg. We'll inhale, reach up high. Exhale, release into a forward fold, getting a little bit of extra sensation on that right leg. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a funky transition. So leaving that left foot crossed over, planting the hands, the right standing leg that wasn't crossed is going to kick back. And we're going to bend in this front knee and lower the knee down into our pigeon pose. Lower the hips all the way down. So I'm just going to do that transition one more time. We were in standing pigeon. We drop the left leg over the right. We do a fold. Plant the hands. Keep that left leg where it is on the right side of the mat as we kick the right foot back. Lower the left knee down. We're in our pigeon. Squaring the hips out here. We'll inhale. Just open the chest. Reach up. On the exhale, let's allow the chest to fall forward. We're going to add some movement here. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release forward. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale once more, release forward. Inhale, as you release forward, maybe the crown of your head could just draw a little bit longer. Exhale, feel yourself relax through the hips, through the glutes. We'll inhale, lift the chest all the way back up. Option here, we're just gonna bend the back knee, try to grab that foot, and we're just gonna try to quad stretch a little bit by drawing that foot in towards us, releasing it back, just adding movement, drawing it towards you, releasing it back, kind of just pressing that foot towards you, towards your glute. Perfect. Releasing that back foot now. We're going to swing the back leg all the way around and come right into a box pose where we stack our shins on top of each other. So that back right leg is going to come around and we'll place the foot on top of the left knee. And then we'll try to press the right knee into the left foot. So just stacking the shins if you can. No worries if it's not exactly working out. Just trying to get a sensation through that outer right hip. We'll inhale straight in through the spine. Exhale, gently dip the chest forward. Inhaling back up. From here, we're just going to release the legs, place our hands forward, lift the hips back into a tabletop position. Tucking the back toes, we'll lift the hips back into a downward facing dog. Perfect. Get a nice deep stretch in the downward facing dog. And then we'll take this to the other side. So whenever you're ready, our left foot is going to step forward. We ground the back heel, point the toes 45 degrees towards the front corner. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up, bend nice and deep in that knee. We're in our warrior one. We want to try to square the hips, so left hip back, right hip forward. From here, we're going to inhale, pivot, and open into our warrior two, opening towards the long side of the mat here. Our shoulders falling away from the ears. We still are sinking really nice and low into that front knee. Perfect. On the inhale, we'll straighten through the front leg and draw the left fingertips back overhead. On the inhale, we'll reach this body all the way over the left leg into a triangle pose, lengthening through the side body. And then bending through that front standing knee here, we're going to come right into a side angle. So reaching then the right fingertips overhead, allowing the left fingertips to drop inside the leg, or the forearms stay stacked on the knee. Breathing into that side body. We're going to exhale, start to drop the hips even lower here as we pivot the right knee and feet to point up. We sink our hips low into our Skandasana. So as low as you can get them, no worries if you can't really get the hips very low. Using your hands for support here. Getting a nice deep breath to release the hips. We're going to inhale, extend straight through the legs, facing the long side of the mat. Pigeon toe those feet towards each other as we release into a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe swaying the hips a little bit side to side. Then we're going to inhale, halfway lengthen. Pivot the toes forward, walking the hands forward. The back toes stay pointed towards the corner, 45 degrees. We keep both legs extended as we inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release over the extended leg. Inhaling back up, the right hand is going to just step outside of the right foot as we reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, release the hands to frame the foot. We're just going to pick up off this back right leg, extending it straight behind us. We're in a little warrior three variation here. Maybe lift the back right leg up a little bit higher to feel it in the standing leg. And then we're going to use our balance as we stand up. Bring this right leg through to us, placing the right foot on top of the left lower thigh. We're going to sit the hips all the way down into our standing pigeon. Turn to face you. There's standing pigeon. Trying to keep a nice straight spine. We'll inhale, lift up with the chest, release that right foot to cross over the left foot. Inhale, exhale, fold over the crossed legs. From here, we're going to keep the right foot planted, crossed over where it's at. The left foot is going to kick back behind us, and we bend and sit right into our pigeon pose. So a little bit of a weird transition there, but I think you got it. Squaring the hips out, find your appropriate pigeon. We're going to inhale, open the chest. And exhale, release the chest forward. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release the chest forward. Inhale, open the chest. Once more, exhale, release the chest forward. Inhale as you release forward here. See if you can pull that crown of the head longer. Exhale, release through the hips, through the glutes. We'll inhale, lift the chest back up. We're just going to bend through that back knee here and grab the foot if you can, if you'd like. And just add some movement, pulling that foot in close towards you and back, just to get some quad exercise, some quad stretch. Perfect. Releasing that left foot here, we're going to swing it around so that we're coming into a box pose here on the other side. Left shin is trying to stack on top of the right shin. We're trying to keep both sit bones planted on the ground here. Just do your best. Find some flex through the feet. We'll inhale, lengthen, and exhale, just gently allow the chest to fall forward again. Perfect. Inhaling back up. We'll release the feet, plant the hands in front of us as we come back into our tabletop position. Tucking the back toes, we'll inhale, lift up back into our downward facing dog. From here, we're just going to walk our feet towards the center of the mat. Our hands come back towards us, and we'll inhale, reach up towards the sky, standing all the way up. And exhale, release. From here, just standing at the center of our mat, we're going to inhale, come up high onto our toes again. On the exhale, we're just going to start to bend through the knees, staying as high on our toes as we can, as we sit the hips all the way down onto the heels, bending the knees. Plant the hands if you need, or if you'd like, you can bring your arms around your knees to hug them in our cosmic egg. Wonderful. From here, we're just going to release the hands, drop the knees in front of us, coming up onto our knees here. Here, our hands will find our lower back, and we're gently open the chest here in a camel. If you'd like, you can keep those bottom feet flexed, those feet flexed. We're just going to reach our hand towards our heels behind us to go even deeper into our camel, making sure our hips stay stacked over the knees, maybe allowing the head to fall back. And if you'd like to go even deeper into this camel, you can release the toes from being flexed. And if you'd like to go deeper, you can always start walking your hands back towards your knees. Lots of modifications. Just breathe nice and deep into the chest center. And release. We're just going to gently bring our hands back to our lower back as we come up. Sit the hips down. You might have to scooch back a little bit here. We're going to release the chest all the way down into a child's pose. Releasing the arms forward. Taking a nice deep breath. Just want to do one more pose here before we move to a seat and lie down. We're just going to lift the hips, keeping the chest low. Slide the chest forward. And then once your hips stack over your knees, just pause and breathe here in a puppy pose. Really reaching that heart center towards the ground, opening up. Breathing nice and deep into the body. And then we'll exhale, release the hips back down into a child's pose. Inhaling all the way up to seat. We're just gonna come onto our sit bones here, extend our legs out in front of us, flexing the toes. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, and we'll exhale, take a forward fold here. Bending the knees to help keep your spine straight if you're a little tight. Just focus on your breath. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, relaxing and releasing. We'll inhale, sit all the way back up, planting the hands behind us, bending the knees, planting the feet. We'll inhale, lift the hips, allow the head to fall back in a reverse tabletop. Lift, lift, lift the hips. And then we'll exhale, release our hips to a seat. We're coming right into a boat pose, lifting our feet off the ground. Our body makes a V with our thighs. You can put your arms out in front of you here. Really trying to keep a nice straight spine, the shoulders drawing away from the shoulders. We'll inhale and exhale, flatten into a canoe, keeping the shoulder blades and feet lifted. Inhale, we'll lift back up into a boat. Exhale, release into a canoe. Inhale, back to a boat. Exhale, canoe. Inhale, boat. Two more here. Exhale, canoe. Inhale, boat. Exhale, canoe. We're going to hold this canoe for a sec. And exhale, release this body to lie all the way down. Perfect. We're just going to hug the knees into the chest. Maybe do a little rock side to side. Planting the feet here, opening the arms into a T. We're just going to take our spinal twist. So if you'd like to twist the legs or straighten one leg or keep both knees bent, whatever variation of a twist you'd like, we're just going to allow the knees to fall towards the left. Maybe bringing that left hand to help press the knees down as we gaze over to the right. Trying to keep both shoulder blades planted here. Deep breaths into the belly. We'll inhale, come back through center. And we're just going to take it to the other side. So allow the knees to drop towards the right as we gaze over to the left. Modifying the twist as you please. We'll inhale, come back through center, hugging the knees into the chest, opening the knees out wide. We'll grab the outsides of the feet, opening them up into a happy baby. Pressing those knees towards the ground, maybe giving yourself a little rock side to side here. And then we're going to release the knees, release the feet down. The feet are going to come together as we open the knees out wide into reclining butterfly. You can bring your arms overhead out to the side. You can bring a palm over your heart, one palm over your stomach. Just starting to engage with the breath here, become aware, fully aware of the breath. Inhaling deep into the belly, bringing that air up into the ribs and up into the chest, filling the body. And as you exhale, release from the chest, from the ribs, and from the belly. Inhaling, fill the chest, fill the ribs, fill the belly, fill the ribs, fill the chest. Exhale, release from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Just finding a few cycles of the yogic breath there. And then releasing your palms, facing up by your side, releasing the feet, allowing them to be nice and relaxed here. Another deep, body breath. And exhale, release as you come into your final resting posture, Shavasana. Relaxing through the face, through the chest, the stomach, through the fingers and toes. Allowing yourself to feel nice and heavy on the ground. Feeling supported. Allowing any effort to control the breath wash away. Letting the mind be free. Expecting nothing of your body or yourself right here, right now. You can feel free to stay longer in the Shavasana, which I totally recommend. Definitely a good idea to give your body this time to completely relax. I'm going to go ahead and just start closing the practice. Starting with welcoming a nice deep breath into the belly. filling the ribs, filling the chest, and a slow exhale all the way out. Starting to wiggle the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles as you allow your breath to find its normal breathing pattern. We'll inhale, reach the body nice and long, arms overhead. And whenever you're ready, exhale, rolling onto either side into a little fetal position before working your way up into an easy seated pose. Taking your time and coming to an easy seat, maybe just closing your eyes, finding your center, finding your peace here. Just going to close the practice off with one more breath, inhaling, arms overhead. And exhaling, hands to heart center, just bowing to your light, to your practice, giving yourself lots of thanks. I thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. See you next time. Namaste. Thank you. I hope to practice with you again. Perfect. Thank you, Ariel. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Heather.